our community, like to welcome everyone here. And I mean, I like that campers are girl.
No, you don't.
I like now you're listening. The good news, that's like, oh, just.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Certainly.
Yeah, but that just.
Yeah. So, when there's one with that in Cindy next time?
Yeah.
But no, we can't have any issues, so.
I know.
Much more. So, other than that.
Hold on a second. Hold on. The microphone closer. We can't make out anything being said.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, better?
And you know, give me a thumbs up or something. And that is, well.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hey Don, is it you guys are really muffled?
Muffled. Muffled.
I'm not the fix that. It's just a word.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have Don keep talking it and then
Gonna play with the volume.
So Mary, your audio is great, but when Don speaks, it's really muffled. So I don't know if the distance from the mic or something, but we could hear you just fine.
you
Okay.
can hear me. Okay.
Okay. Where's your microphone at? Or do you even, you're
I'm
using that one? You
We're
should.
sharing the same mic.
All right. Okay. So do you hear me now?
Whatever you did is much better.
Okay. And we're gonna keep doing it.
Okay, we're moving forward.
All right, so I hope you all heard the Pledge of Allegiance. We're not gonna do it again. But at this point, we're at the number 8 of the agenda here, which is Los Angeles County Sheriff's Resident Deputy Martinez. We're ready for his report if he's got one for us.
Hey guys, so for the month of March, it was outstanding because we had 0 Part 1 crimes and 0 property crimes, which brings our yearly total to 1 Part 1 crime and 4 property crimes, which is the 40% reduction year over year for the month, and obviously total, and for the period, it's about a 20% reduction. I don't really have much from you guys. Do you guys have anything for me?
No, I think we're clear.
Yeah.
I think we're looking good. Thank you very much for the report.
Are you gonna stick around if somebody's got a question maybe later?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around.
Yeah. Perfect.
Right. All right. Next up, we have California Highway Patrol, and I believe we have Officer Allen. Is it Officer Allen with us tonight?
It looks like we've got a number of.
Oh, we got
officers.
Allen. We got Coleman.
Yes, they're off down here. So I have a couple guys, they're trying out for the cops team, so they're just monitoring tonight, the meeting.
Cool. That's allowed.
All right, guys. So for March, we had somewhat of a busy month in your area, on the freeways, at least near you. We can start with traffic crashes. The unincorporated area around you, that's not defined one of the lower line beats on the paperwork, had no crashes. On Sierra Highway, you had 2 total injury crashes. On Soledad, 2 property damage crashes. Nothing on Sand Canyon, which is the lower end. Bouquet Canyon had 1 property damage crash and 1 injury crash, for a total of 2. On Agua Dulce Canyon, you had 1 property damage only crash. On the freeway, we had 146, which is a northbound 14, had 3 property damage crashes, 3 injury crashes, 2 hit and runs. The southbound side had 4 property damage crashes, 2 injury crashes, and 2 hit and run crashes. Citation wise, we had 9 citations issued on the unincorporated, 21 on Sierra Highway, 1 on Soledad Canyon, 2 on Bouquet Canyon, and none on Agua Dulce. Hold on one second. On the freeway northbound side, we had 80 citations issued between Soledad and Ward Road. On the southbound side in the same area, 101. Okay, so let's move on to the arrests in the area. On B200, which is the unincorporated areas around you, there was 1 felony arrest warrant. Felony arrest for a warrant was for a sex registration violation. On Sierra Highway, there's 1 felon in possession of a firearm, as well as an arrest for a misdemeanor warrant. Nothing on Soledad Canyon this month. 1 DUI arrest on Sand Canyon. No arrests on Bouquet or Agua Dulce Canyon Road. On the North 14, we had 2 DUI arrests, 1 felony pursuit arrest, a reckless driver arrest. We had 1 arrest for delaying and resisting a police officer, as well as 3 misdemeanor warrant arrests and a stolen vehicle on the northbound side. The southbound side of the freeway near you had a felony DUI arrest. They had 2 misdemeanor DUI arrests, 1 reckless driver, 1 stolen vehicle, and 1 stolen vehicle recovery without a person inside of it. Additionally, the southbound freeway had a car-to-car shooting, which resulted in 2 attempted murder charges, as well as a brandishing and assault with a deadly weapon arrest. The suspect was in custody within 48 hours, thanks to the quick investigation and the assistance from Palmdale Sheriff. Actually, was the one that ended up arresting him and booking the guy.
Awesome.
And that's about all I have for you. If you have any questions about any of that or anything else, I'm here.
Okay.
He was beginning there was a lot.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
I think we're looking good, and thank you for the report tonight. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
No issues. I'm around if there's any questions. If I don't hear it, one of the other guys on the line can be able to answer for you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Glad to hear it. Okay. Next up, from Los Angeles County Fire Department, we have our community service representative, Maria, if she's here with us tonight. Maria?
Don't see Maria yet.
We don't see her.
No.
All right, well, we'll come back if she shows up. She
Maybe
comes
she's
back.
on her way. Oh.
Could be. Oh, maybe she's going to be here in
Yeah.
person. We don't know. Okay, we'll see. All right. Ooh, and always our trustworthy Acton Agua Dulce Library report from librarian Jim Wall. Jim, are you here with us tonight?
I am. How are you guys doing this evening?
Wonderful.
Good. Glad to hear. All right. So things going on at the library. First, big thank you to everyone who showed up to help the Friends of the Library. And this last weekend at the book sale, it was a big turnout. They had a lot of stuff go. So it was really nice and really good event. Some upcoming programs. Here's a good one. This is going to be Thursday, April 10th at 3:30. It's Literary Peeps Dioramas. So come in, bring a box with you. We're asking the families bring a box, and you're going to get some peeps, those little marshmallow things you get at the stores. And the goal is to go create a diorama based on your favorite book using those peeps. As inspiration, my children's librarian, she made Jurassic Peep. Here at the library, you really should come check it out. It's pretty awesome. Maybe I'll grab a picture of it and throw it in the chat in a minute. So I've got that. Coming up also on Saturday, April 19th at 2 o'clock, I've got a guy coming doing a Johnny Cash music program. He's going to talk about the history of the performer and do some and play some of his music. So that should be a real good one too. Like always, all of our stuff's online, lacountylibrary.org, hit events. The only other thing I'm going to let you guys know about is during this month, the library, a lot of libraries do have civic art in them. There's about 22 within LA County branches. Our library is one of them. They're doing a program this month where you can go to any of those libraries, pick up a library civic art passport, If you head to all 22 of those libraries and get your passport stamped at each one, then you're entered into a drawing for some library prizes. So feel free to come check that out. It's a great excuse to get out and see a bunch of other libraries. So that's what I've got, unless you guys have any questions for me.
No, I think that's fantastic. What a
Yeah.
great report, Jim. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Anybody have questions for Jim? Okay, no, I think you're clear.
All right,
much.
thank you.
All right, look forward to hearing from you next meeting, that's for sure.
Thank you. We'll see you then.
Good. Next up, from the Department of Public Works, LA County, Josie Gutierrez.
And Josie sent me an email saying that she had a conflict tonight.
Well,
But she had sent some notices on upcoming, things that Public Works is doing. The free mattress collection is Saturday, April 5th on Sierra Highway. The details are on the agenda. Free disposal day at the Lancaster landfill, also on April 5th. Free tire recycling on April 26th. And, they're still doing work on the traffic investigation group on the, on Wilshire Canyon Road and
Okay.
Davenport area.
okay, with the stop sign.
Oh, good.
Okay, cool. So she hasn't forgotten about us. It takes a little longer than it normally takes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right. So next up, we have Los Angeles County Parks, Vasquez Rocks, Parks and Superintendent, Sarah Brewer. Sarah, are you with us here tonight?
I am. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Excellent. How's everybody doing? Good?
Good, wonderful.
Good. Excellent. So a couple updates. So I always like to offer a friendly reminder for park hours. So now we've switched to our summer hours, which actually run past summer, but it's through March 1st to the end of October. We are open 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. every day except Monday. So Monday we're closed. And if you guys, if anybody has any questions on hours or if we're open on certain holidays, we typically know at the beginning of the year which holidays the county has us open and closed for. So the next one coming up that they told us we're open for on a Monday is Memorial Day. I think that's the 26th this year, that Monday. So we'll be open. And then we'll always, we post it on our social media and things like that just to remind folks. Easter's coming up this month already, so it's a little late this year. It's usually one of the busiest days of the year, especially if the weather is nice. So we just like to always remind, and most of our locals know because you guys know the rundown. But if you guys have any, friends or family coming from out of town, we always like to remind them to just check up on park policies ahead of time because we do have a lot of families that want to come do egg hunts and bring canopies and barbecue and stuff. And those are things that we don't allow, but other community and regional parks like El Carrizo or Acton Park or Castaic do allow. So if anybody has questions, they can always just call us at the office and we can either email them the policies or we can just kind of give them a rundown of how everything goes. The following week on the 26th, which is the last Saturday of the month, we have Day at the Rocks. So that's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a free event. Anybody, if we have any local organizations or clubs or anything like that, you're welcome to reach out and do a table, an information booth, anything like that. Our ham radio guys may do one with Stacy this year, Stacy Lore, which will be really cool. So yeah, it'll be cool. The Seniors Club will be there and hopefully Jim will be there with the library. He always does a great show for the kids. So yeah, it'll be fun. And then within the next couple weeks, we're starting our first round of Twilight hikes for this year. So we do them once a month and we typically do them April through October and then the weather gets too cold. But it fills up. This one filled up within about 10 minutes again, all 50 spots. And then we do usually have a pretty good sized wait list. So we're really glad that people are so enthusiastic about the program. We have a great time leading it. We have a lot of fun. So we do those typically on or right around the full moon. But we had such a big demand for it that we actually added weekly. So if anybody wants, you can always just drop in. There's no registration required. our sunset strolls, which are every Friday until our hours change in the fall. Those are every Friday at 6 p.m. and they're about an hour. So you can bring, anybody, bring your family, friends, little kids are fine. Bring a baby in a carrier if you'd like. And we tailor the experience each week on whoever shows up. So they're super fun. We have some of our awesome rec leaders that help lead it, and it's great. We talk about any topic that our folks are interested in, and we have a really good time. So yeah. Going on with park policy stuff, we had a nice meeting with some of our equestrian folks, local equestrians. So we have some really good action items that we already started working on, just to make things more accessible, safer, make sure that we have not just our local equestrians, but we have a lot of visiting equestrians too that aren't familiar with the site or policies or safety or things like that. So it's going to also help orient visiting equestrians too, or people that haven't been here before. So we'll keep working on that with Mary, and then we'll give you guys any updates. And if you see us out in the park, looking at trails or anything like that, we're doing a lot of work on the Pacific Crest Trail Ridge before it drops down into the Escondido Canyon where it goes out the tunnel. We finally decided to tackle all the big rocks that have eroded out. And so we've been going to town on those, moving them off to the side, lining the trail. So it's been really fun. We've made a lot of progress. We joke that it will take us 20 years, but it might only take like 5 or 6 years now. So if you see us out there, be sure to come say hi. We like seeing everybody. So yeah, I think that's about it. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to, you can stick them in the chat, or you can let me know and I can answer you in the chat or anything like that, whatever is easier. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sarah. Anybody have any questions for Sarah?
I actually do. I've got a couple of things there I wanted to just check in on.
Sure.
I actually was hiking over there last week, and I saw that the rock removal on the plateau area that you're talking about, taking the rocks out, it's leaving a lot of big holes. And that I'm just curious as to if what you're doing is trying to help the tripping, but leaving big divots and holes.
Yeah, so most of them have been filled in with DG. So I think what happened was there was a communication breakdown because when I do it, I like to, if I remove, a rock or like a 2x2 square of rock, I fill it in right away. But I think a couple of my staff didn't get that. So we're working, we had staff out there this afternoon again too, filling them in. So same thing, if you guys ever, and not just there, anywhere in the park, if you see like a hazard or anything, feel free to take a picture and text it or email it, or just even a GPS coordinate and just say, hey, I saw, there's a divot here, there's a rock that's kind of sticking out, jagged or anything like that. Because it helps us have eyes out there. So
how are you filling it in? Because it was just holes that I saw when I was out there.
Yeah, we're using either soil that's right there, or we have a big pile of local decomposed granite. So the last few days we've been going up there, and then it's put into the holes and then compacted with like a tamp or a McLeod. So you'll see it. It's like some of it's like lighter soil, so it looks a little funny, but it's much safer that way. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you give me a status on all the graffiti that's down in the tunnel?
Yeah. So the work, you mean on the PCT?
Yes, in the tunnel.
Yeah. So the PCT work is pretty much, this chunk of it is done. There is some other work on the PCT that we're hoping that volunteers can come back for. Like
no,
the spots.
I'm talking about the graffiti.
Oh, well, so that's the thing is, and maybe that's something you guys can help us with, because so the tunnel is in a section of the trail. It's a little triangle that doesn't belong to the county. It actually belongs, I get mixed information because sometimes the parcel pulls up as U.S. Park Service or the U.S. Forest Service. So the tunnel belongs to the state. We don't have jurisdiction in it. So we're happy to help. Like, I'm pretty sure, I definitely don't mind helping. And, I'm sure I can get permission from my staff to assist there. Our department just has to know because we would be working off site. But we we need to figure out, and I haven't had luck in the past, getting a contact with Caltrans to, basically get approval for access or like a right of entry to that stuff, because it's not LA County property.
Okay, let me see if I can, get something working on that, because
Yeah,
there's
that would
a
be
lot
great.
down there, and graffiti breeds graffiti. Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's terrible. Yeah, because I remember 10 years ago, there was hardly any graffiti there, and we were able to I would kind of sneak down there sometimes, and especially because at my mom's store, we would end up with extra or mismatched paint, so like Eddie Porter used to do. If we had a little bit of beige or gray paint that was extra, I could take it down there and hit it. But it just got really out of control. And the interesting thing is that now that most places that make paint, it's computerized. So there's very rarely mismatched or unneeded paint anymore. So that's part of it too. And we do graffiti removal here in the park with like a low pressure power washer that doesn't harm the rock. But because that's a blue line stream, it's actually the Escondido Creek, we can't do chemical removal in there. It would have to be painted over. But we're happy, like I said, we're happy to help. I would love to help.
I'm going to start with Public Works, because Public Works takes care of graffiti, and if they're not on it, they will tell me who to get on it.
Fabulous.
And then the other thing, I had two people contact me about, they were over at the Rocks having prom pictures taken by Mom, and they were told that they needed to have a permit and that they shouldn't be in there with a bouquet of flowers. So what's going on with the photography policy?
So the photography policy has basically, again, been the same for quite a long time. It just wasn't evenly enforced before. But a few years ago, I think it was summer 3 years ago, I think, it kind of came to a head where I began to consistently get a lot of complaints from the public about how much the non-permitted photo shoots and filming was impacting passive park use. And it was like, it's really unfortunate because people will use the middle of the parking lots as changing rooms. We just twice last week we had people in their underwear that we had to tell.
I get that. What I'm asking,
can I finish? I'm trying to explain. So that's to say that we get a huge variety of people who come and do non-permitted filming. And sometimes it ranges from family photographers all the way to people coming to do music videos. The thing is like with county policy, you can't enforce it for some and not for others. And what we do have happening, even if it's with, like high schoolers or family, especially with family photos, you'll have people who come with professional equipment and there is money being exchanged. And that's where county policy says they have to have insurance and a permit. And it's the same insurance that you have for a camp out or a picnic table rental, or it's just a blanket county insurance. So typically if we see that people are following the park rules and regulations on photography. So like you can't change on site. You can't, if you have just like something small in your hand, typically we don't say anything. But if you have, like today, there was a young man walking around with like an axe in his hand. So we had to like talk to him about it. So basically if it hits these, and we have them posted at the beginning, middle, we have them posted throughout the park, the filming and photography policies. They can always contact us and ask, but our staff we don't bother people unless it's, something that hits one of those criteria.
Okay, so it was a mom taking pictures of her daughter in her prom dress and maybe a friend. So what was the problem with that?
I can't say it off the top of my head because I don't believe I was the one that talked to him, but I can definitely check and we can let you guys know. Or if you have their contact information, I can reach out and we can chat about it.
Well, no, I just want to know if somebody goes in and is in a prom dress, can Mom take a picture?
Yeah, if they come in and they are being safe, so that's the other thing too that we really watch out for. And typically we're just very education based because we just worry about people's safety is the big thing. When someone comes in and say they have like heels on or a ball gown and they get up on the rocks, and that's where we run into trouble because we see people fall, get scraped up, they go up the rock, they can't come down. So we'll talk to them depending on what they're doing, or if they're like, we get a lot of, last year with prom, there was a lot of people posing and stopping and blocking the road when other cars were trying to go in and out. So people just kind of get caught up in what they're doing and they're not, realizing that it's a safety issue. So if it's just a parent that's coming in, with their family and they don't have like flashes and equipment and things like that, typically it's not a problem at all.
Yeah, it was an iPhone and a prom dress. And flowers. And she had on heels. So,
yeah, if they were being careful and everything, it shouldn't be a problem. But we can also too, we usually try to tell like, some of the high school parents that I know or some of the teachers, I just say, hey, let people, have them give us a shout. And it does help when somebody says, oh, hey, I'm hoping to come on Saturday, around 10 or whatever. My kids are going to have, prom photos done. And one time it was within the last couple years, it was actually, one of them was Dawn's daughter-in-law, and they actually got together and they had a paid photographer, but they did a quick permit. So they just pay the film monitor fee and they got to take, they provided the insurance. It was really great. And they had all the boys and girls come out and they took like group photos. It was great. So that was like a great way to do it too, because they knew, they knew all the safety and all that good stuff, and they had professional photos, which were beautiful. But yeah, if it's just somebody that wants to come in and take them with their family, they can, or they can check in when they come to the office too, that, when they come in the park, they can just pop in and say, hey, we're going to be down there. Is it okay if we do this? And then we're like, yeah, that's great. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, these are people who lived here in Agua Dulce for many years, and they wanted to take some pictures, prom pictures over there. And the ranger who was on duty told them that they needed a permit. So they weren't happy about it. And I just wanted to kind of get it clear. I'm still not 100% clear, but I don't want to spend a whole lot.
It's like anything else. We have the policy, the rules and regulations in writing, and we have paper copies of it too that, we provide to folks.
I've got a copy of those. So I know, and it was an iPhone, there was no equipment, there was no filter, there was no.
Mary?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interject. If the person, I don't know who it was that came forward to you, if they're comfortable speaking about it or talking to Sarah or I mean, we can talk about this offline. It's case by case, really. So we'd need to see, what happened, talk to them. But if you want to talk further offline, we can discuss it and see, where the park can improve on that front.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you for the report, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
Look forward to working with you. Next up, we do have 5th District report from Stephanie English, which isn't here, but we have Isabel is here. I saw her show up on the big screen there. So
thanks, Dawn. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I just interjected, but just a couple quick updates from me. As of yesterday, Measure A went into full effect. This is the quarter-cent additional sales tax that I have been mentioning to you guys the last couple meetings. So it's in full effect now. So if you guys are noticing you're paying a little bit more in sales tax, this is why. This is the sales tax that's going towards homelessness. That's a continuation of Measure H. I've talked about the details a lot in the past, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but if you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer. Other than that, the only other thing is, what day are we today? Yesterday's board meeting, the Board of Supervisors unanimously voted to approve a motion by Supervisor Barger and Supervisor Horvath that establishes a new county department dedicated to homeless services. This is going to be a whole new department. It's super complicated. It's one of those things that, it's going to be super complicated and ongoing. It's going to take a while. The next update we're expecting is towards the end of April. That can sometimes those things, they take longer than expected, but I will continue to update you guys on that. The goal of the new department is to have more effective homeless services in the county. We know a lot of, especially unincorporated areas, we have a lot of problems with that. So this is a department that's supposed to be more effective in the long run. That's it for me. Happy to take any questions on those items. If not, Mary, I did mention to you a week or two ago that we are going to have someone on to give an update on Sleepy Valley and the septic system. So we do have Caroline on here from our county council team. She's just going to give a brief update and answer any questions you guys might have. I was hoping Chris was on tonight from the town council because I know he's the main person that's been working on this, but I'm not seeing his name or seeing him in person. I guess you guys could just update him or ask any questions you've been hearing from him, but Caroline's on. If there's no questions, I'll let her take over.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Caroline Castillo, and thank you, Isabel, for the introduction. I'm Deputy County Counsel assigned to this matter for the past 6 months or so. I wanted to update everyone that we requested and the court granted and issued an inspection order and a warrant, as we did not get consent and permission from the property owner to enter her property to inspect and evaluate the septic tank. We are currently, as we speak, coordinating the date of execution of the inspection order with different county agencies. So we should have further report next month with specifics, including findings from the inspection and evaluation and potential issuance of orders to abate. That's all the update I have for tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions, but I'll probably have further updates next month.
Great. Well, we appreciate it.
It would be great if you could come back next month and give us an update as to what happened with your trying to get those orders.
Yes, I will be happy to attend next month and provide further updates, including the specifics of our findings.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have California 34th Assembly District, Assembly Member Tom Lackey, and Anna is the one that normally gives a report. Anna, are you here? Anna's not here. So we're going to move right over to the 23rd Senate District, Senator Suzette Martinez-Valadares. And normally it's Jack Danielson who gives a report. Jack, are you here tonight? I don't see Jack. All right. So we're going to move right on over to U.S. 27th Congressional District, Representative George Whiteside. Tonight we do have Shannon Hurst and
Maria.
Okay, perfect. That's you, right? Perfect.
I know we've had some problems with the microphone, so can someone just throw a thumbs up in the chat if they can hear me okay?
Can you hear? Anybody?
Is that a thumbs up?
Thumbs up?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
All right, so keep going.
I'll be super quick. Our first update is that our community project funding portal will be up shortly. That will be open for applications not too long from now, so we'll definitely send out a lot of information via his newsletter. If you're not subscribed to the Congressman's newsletter already, it's going to be on his website, and that's where we send almost weekly, if not weekly, every 2 weeks, but usually more frequent than that, updates about what the Congressman is doing. So that's really where the primary, information about the community project funding will come out, but it'll also be on his social. Second thing is that the annual congressional art competition is open. There's no theme, and all of California's 27 high school students are encouraged to submit their artwork along with one quick form. A lot of details about what mediums are accepted are going to be available online as well. That should have just come out in the newsletter, I believe, yesterday. The deadline is the 18th. There's also a lot more information about the Congressman's social media, but the winner's artwork will be displayed in the Capitol, which is really exciting. But we'll be sending out a lot of information, so keep an eye out for that. And we look forward to your submissions. So thank you, and let us know if there's anything else that we can do for you. Again, my name is Shannon. I'm the field rep for this area, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Do we have any questions for Shannon? Looks like we're clear. All right. Thank you very much for making it out here. Appreciate it. All right. And Maria, do you have anything you want to share?
Yes.
You shared it all. Okay. That means you just make sure that she was given the right report.
No.
Good. Perfect. All right. Next up, we have Santa Clara River Watershed Area Steering Committee, Measure W, Watershed Coordinator, Amanda Beckley. Amanda, are you here or Heather?
I don't see
Either.
them, so
So we're going to just...
I'll fill you in.
Okay, that's it.
At the last Santa Clara River Watershed Steering Committee meeting, we approved the stormwater investment plan, adding a scientific study. And it was the scientific study is a data-driven system that integrates advanced data analytics with AI to site-distributed stormwater capture and filtration projects. It was $50,000. It wasn't a lot for our budget, but they are hoping that all the other watersheds, there's 8 other watersheds, will sign on to it. So they need more than just one to move forward.
Okay.
Additionally, at that meeting, I spoke with Mike Antos, who is kind of he's not the watershed coordinator, but he has helped with getting the whole watershed steering committee off the ground. He's a consultant. And he came up to me and said, hey, we've got a group that is working on the LA County Drought Resilience Plan, which is based on SB 552. Do you want to be on it? And I said, well, everybody has told us private well owners are not part of it. And he said, you know, and I know, it's in the bill. And he said, you need to be on it. So they're having it's a working committee task force. So the first meeting is tomorrow. Chris is actually on the task force also as the small water system.
Right.
So he's going to cover the information on small water, and I'll take over for the private domestic wells.
Okay.
So I think from that perspective, I think we'll be in good shape because it's the county that has to come up with the drought resilient plan.
Right.
And if if we've got a seat at the table in helping to shape that plan, I think.
Well, that's the best we can do.
That's the best we can do. So I will say, as much as I hate paying that Measure W water fee, being on the committee, I think it has opened me up to this stuff. Also, Amanda has said that she thinks everybody who applied for hauled water reimbursement will get it.
Oh, that's good.
So, and there may be additional money for some potential additional storage. Water storage.
Did she say they were going to do that program each year, or was
No, this is a one-time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So,
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Mary. We appreciate that. All right. So next up, we have the report from Waste Management. Quincy Little. Quincy, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So I don't really have any updates besides the Lancaster landfill dump day this weekend on the 5th from 8 to 2 p.m. That's all I really have going on. Does anybody have any concerns or questions for me?
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Awesome. And then I'll just leave my information in the chat as always.
Wonderful. Thank you, Quincy. I appreciate it. Good. Okay. So now we have presentation discussions, new business. We don't have any presentation discussions tonight.
You don't?
Okay. So that moves right on to old business then. Report back on AVAC special meeting and workshop. Workshop, they called it. Okay. Workshop regarding proposed Delta conveyance project. That was held March 18th. Do we have anything to report on that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
AVEC is a water wholesaler, and they sell water to other water companies. And for some reason, it was formed in 1959. I got some updates in 1959, and it was official in 1962. That's when they made their boundaries. The boundaries were official in 1962. I am included in that boundary, along with my neighbors and some other people in Agua Dulce. If you look at the boundaries, most boundaries are pretty straight on the lines and everything, until you get down to Agua Dulce, and it goes up and down and in and out and over and up and around and back and forth. So I don't know how back in 1962 they figured out that it was a good thing, but I've been paying taxes since, well, whoever owned my property has been paying taxes since 1962. My tax bill this year for AVEC is $498. I get no water. I get nothing. But it's part of the deal. So AVEC put out that they were having this workshop about this proposed Delta conveyance. Now, the Delta conveyance is a project. It's a 45-mile below ground tunnel. And the 45-mile tunnel would move water from the Sacramento River, starting near a town called Clarksburg, and move it under the Sacramento San Joaquin Delta, close to I-5, eventually sending it south to the California Aqueduct. And it would make it more earthquake resilient and modernizing the infrastructure. So, and it is bypassing the Delta smelt, which is also an issue. A few years ago, this was proposed with 2 tunnels, and now it's just brought down to 1 tunnel. There's 29 state water contractors who purchase water from the State Water Project, and then they include that water as part of their regional water supply. Currently, only 18 are participating in this project, so not everybody's on board. AVEC is a wholesale supplemental water provider that treats, delivers, and stores water, providing treated water to retail agencies and untreated water to agricultural customers. So here in Agua Dulce, they don't give us anything. They are the suppliers of District 37, which will eventually send water to the RTG project. Acton is, I think, there's District 37 also, which is the LA County. They're the ones who distribute the water. So the water is paid to them, but they get their water from AVEC. This workshop was to determine if AVEC should work on this engineering project, which is $11 million. They've already put quite a bit of money into this, and they wanted to get input in a workshop sort of way to hear from their constituents. Well, the room was filled by the time I got there. I ended up having to go into an overflow room, and everybody in my overflow room was in the exact same boat I was, who've been paying taxes for as long as we lived here and not getting a drop of water. In the main room, as they started taking comments. Jackie was there, Susan Daugherty from the Rural Town Councils was there. Jackie actually is in AVEC District 30, well, LA County's District 37. So she gets water from District 37. Susan out in 3 Points is like us, she's paying it and not getting anything.
Still unfair.
The board heard from lots of taxpayers who are, I call them taxpayers and not customers, because they're not getting any water, but we're paying taxes. And so I asked the staff that was there, what's the percentage of people like me who are paying taxes as opposed to the people who are receiving water, customers? And staff wasn't able to give me that answer, but I think it was the director from our district, I don't know, maybe it's George Van Dam, I think, Van Dam Farms.
Yeah.
He said, Mary, I got the answer to your question. 2/3 of you taxpayers are paying for 1/3 of the users, which that just blows my mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that it came through loud and clear that number one, this wasn't really a workshop. If you're going to have a workshop, let's have a workshop where we can come up with ideas. And the comments ranged from, don't participate in this. You're talking about doing additional water banking, put your money into water banking. Find other sources of funding other than increasing our tax rate. So I'm not sure where we stand from here, but I'm thankful to the Rural Town Councils for getting us informed on it. And we'll go from there.
Did they ever give you a hard number of any type?
No, because
okay, so you really don't know what the ultimate cost is.
right, and I'm not even sure that this will end up going forward.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You know, I hate to put it in kind of the high-speed rail category, but I'm going to put it in that kind of category.
pretty simple.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, costs they don't really know, and the cost is going to be dependent upon how many other water company or water distributors sign on. And there's only 18 out of the 29. So ABEC is one of the larger ones because they do a lot of distribution down here in Southern California. And ag also, they do.
I don't know that they do a lot of distribution, but they collect a lot of tax revenue.
Yes, they do.
So a lot of people signed up for that, believing that someday they would get quote unquote city water. Even though I think AVEC in their presentation claimed that they never were meant to be the primary source of water, but only a backup source of water in time of need. So, you know, I think the good part was that they're starting to get public input as to what's going on. You know?
Yeah, and there's clearly the board is 7 people, and the majority was municipal
agencies.
Yeah. I mean, the Mayor Lancaster is on there, and he's like, we need to get this going.
Well, yeah, and it's something where, as I understood it, and maybe I'm wrong, but what I understood them to say was that they've already donated $11 million for this. Are they going to continue to donate? That was the whole thing.
And there's some question on, okay, there's 2 kind of big questions. If we were to give money and it doesn't go forward, would we get money back? And the other question was, if we give some money, what are we getting for it?
Well, the other fear factor was if you don't give money, then you're not going to get in there.
We're gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
That was the big fear factor, and that was really what a lot of the ARTC people heard, and the letters that were sent out were if you don't participate in this, there's no guarantee that you will be part of this system going forward.
Yeah. Okay. So there's more. Nothing was really settled.
No.
But the door was open for another meeting, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I think they heard it loud and clear that if you wanted a workshop, this is not anything.
Yeah, no, it was a meeting.
Yeah.
Like we're having tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. The battery energy storage system, best. I don't know if we have any, of course.
Did you get information on that?
You know, that's the one.
Did you go to this, did you listen in on this meeting? I listened.
I did the ABEC, not the best. Okay. So what did you hear?
Well, it was really, regional planning hosted it, and they are looking to update the renewable energy ordinance, and battery energy storage systems are part of it going forward. And they weren't really, they were taking input, and Jackie Ayer and Ruthie Brock gave them a lot of input. I bet they did. So I think they covered the issues that are important on barriers and number one, it shouldn't be in a very high fire area at all.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be by homes. It should be, you know,
Out in the desert, out in the middle of
out in the desert, but not anywhere close to the library.
right.
And that was the other thing that kind of came up. They were saying out in the desert, and then somebody who lives out in the desert. So let's be specific on out in the desert on vacant land.
Yeah.
But they have problems with neighborhoods blowing up and burning down.
Well,
and I don't understand why they're still going forward with it.
coming off of the Palisades fire and Aiden fire,
Yeah.
we know the way the wind blows.
Yes.
And if they're talking about putting that on the east side of Acton, and the wind were to blow,
Right through that.
you could conceivably, I mean, if they lost, I'm still aghast at what they lost at the Eden. But I mean, when you start burning down bank buildings, you got some issues.
Well, that happened in Maui.
True. So you have those three look pretty terrible.
Yeah, because my brother said that the raging that's happening there in Maui is now happening here.
Yeah.
I think that he's serious. The same complaints, everything.
Yeah.
But I know that I've talked to so many police officers and firefighters that have said that the battery operated cars, mainly Tesla, when they catch on fire, they are terrified to save anybody in the car because they can't put out the fire.
Yeah.
So, and they want to put a huge
million.
Yeah.
Bolt
Because
or whatever.
it would be the biggest one in the country.
I'm sure it will be. At least that's the way they'll start it out, and then
Right.
they'll start downscaling. But that's basically.
It's still dangerous, no matter what size it is.
But did anybody's mind get changed at that meeting?
No, because they're just taking input and yeah.
That was a high-speed rail.
Yeah.
Yeah, checking the box.
Checking the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Community input.
Okay,
Check the box.
we attended this meeting, we consulted the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a little jaded, sorry.
Now, hey, we've got PSPS, the letters.
Okay, and Jackie Ayer's letters to the CPUC, incredible.
Phenomenal.
I don't have the time, I don't have the expertise, and bottom line, I don't think they're gonna do anything.
Yeah.
So, I yay Jackie.
But yeah, I mean,
And I'm behind her 100%, but I just don't have the the background and the time and the knowledge to do anything. So,
Okay.
sorry, I haven't done any letters to the CPUC.
Okay.
And
So-
I'm not.
So I think maybe the thought needs to be at our next meeting when we have a full group. How can we help? I mean, obviously, your letter is only gonna come in second place to her letter.
Right.
Because her letter is way out in front.
Yeah, I can't even,
And she spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, you know?
I support her. I think we just need to be supportive of what she's pointed out, and whatever she's put in, we second it and are 100% behind it.
So our letter would be such, if we're gonna write a new letter at all, it would be such that we are in 100% support of what Jackie has detailed in her letter. Okay.
Yeah, I could put together that letter.
I think we ought to wait till everybody, we've actually already approved that,
Yeah.
but, you know.
I still don't know if it's gonna do
All
that.
right. Okay, so next up, we have RTG. Chris isn't here.
No.
So we'll hear from them next meeting. How about from the community group, Save Rural Ogwood Olsay? Is anybody here from Save Rural Ogwood Olsay group? Doesn't look like it. All right, so we're kind of in a holding pattern there. President's report. Ooh, all right.
That'd be you.
2025. Ogwood Olsay County Council. We're in meeting format in an effort to host more inclusive with community participation. How many participants? Oh, we had some earlier.
We had,
Somebody
I
went
think,
back.
15.
We have 15?
Yeah.
Good. Well, that kind of shows the numbers. And effective communication. The council will continue with virtual meetings and have in-person hybrid meetings twice a year. Virtual meetings will be January, February, March, May, June, July, October, and November. And the in-person hybrid meetings, like tonight, will be April and September. The location of in-person meetings is going to be at the Women's Club where we are tonight, and it's worked out real well. We'll continue this on. We already agreed to do that through the year 2025, and I think next year we'll decide, you know, if we're going to continue whatever our schedule is going to be. Formal approval. From our action from virtual meetings. I think we can we handle this in a motion of just one motion for all these, or what do we?
I don't see a problem doing that.
Okay, all right. So we have the approval of actions taken at virtual meetings. January 8th, we moved to providing insurance coverage to the Ham Radio Club and send the insurance coverage letter to the Acton Ogwood Olsay Library. February 12th, moved to write letters to the CPUC and Philly, California Edison. We moved to collaborate with Acton Town Council and the City of Santa Clarita. I wonder what City of Santa Clarita is doing. And AAD, USD on PSPS related matters. Moved to send the standard letter to the Ogwood Olsay Airport, which we did. And March 12th at a regular meeting due to scheduling conflicts. The April 9th meeting is rescheduled to April 12th, which is tonight. Pending availability of the Ogwood Olsay Women's Club, which it was available, and moved to approve the draft letter AB 303. So we have these items that were approved during our virtual, but I would like to entertain a motion that we would put these into our minutes, that we actually discuss these or had comments on these, and someone made a motion that we actually accept these.
Okay, I will move to formally approve all the motions taken at the meeting from January through March.
Okay, all right.
I'll second it.
Second. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, having the way get back. And now, you're serious about this, weren't you, Mary? All right, public hearing for community meetings and workshops. Open House LA County Floodplain Management Plan for 2025. Update is April 3rd. That's what you were just talking about. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Course Hill Public Library. Floodplain Management Plan is an overall strategy of programs, projects, and measures aimed at reducing adverse impacts of flood hazard. And for details, you can go on the LA County.gov website to give all the details there. And that meeting will be held in person in Port Hill between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. All right. Public scoping meeting for revised oil well. Now, any oil wells? Oh, okay. Revised oil well ordinance for draft EIR. Okay. So it's an environmental impact report regarding drilling of oil wells. And that's going to be held April 17th, 6 p.m. And it's going to be virtual. So we'll see how that ends up going. Details are to be found on our agenda. Incoming correspondence for notice. We had a couple of ground mount solar people out here that want to put in solar panels on the ground. And we also had a pool that's going to be put in. Okay. And submittal of biological constraints map and report for review by county biologists on this particular part. Elkhorn Road, they want to add on 239 square feet to an existing single-family residence. Over on Capital, they want to install a 24,000 watt natural gas powered standby generator. If you're concerned about that, time to act. Another site plan review is to begin to address and city electrical.
To begin to address and city electrical process to get it an address.
So they want to get an address.
Yeah.
They haven't got an address. All they got is parcel number.
Yeah.
They want an address. Okay. All right. And Sweetwater Farms, which is right through here, issues permit to allow alcohol.
Yeah.
An existing supermarket. The other ones always had it. I don't think there's a big issue, but they have to apply for that. Supportive housing, streamlining in a public facility now this is what's strange.
Okay. This guy is he's trying everything. Do you know where this is?
Yeah, it's off of Wagon Wheel Road, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and it's like 6 acres.
But I think we already.
Okay, he tried to do better, and that got voided.
Oh, that one, okay.
Okay.
So he's now trying for seniors and domestic violence,
Yeah.
and thinking that that's going to go through. Thank goodness.
Okay.
Regional planning is voiding all of them to come.
Yeah.
As this one should be voided also.
Yeah. Okay. Do we need to take an action on that? I think we do. They should have.
Next, you'll want
They'll take care.
animal rescue.
Yeah. Okay. So open forum. Anybody would like to speak? You got 3 minutes to
Anybody
speak.
still here?
And I might even give them a minute and a half instead of 3 minutes. If anybody would like to talk. Nope. Nope.
No, I do. Hold on.
I see somebody's hand up there.
Yeah, me. Hi. Hi, guys.
Okay.
You're really blurry.
Okay, hold on. Let me, I didn't have my camera prepped.
Now you're real focused.
All right, I'll just take my video off and we'll go audio only for now. Okay, as long as you guys can hear me okay. I wanted to share the new, I'm starting our election committee recruitment. So I'm going to put the flyer for that in the chat that we can, you can share with your, anyone you know that might be interested. But I more importantly wanted to ask you about, I would like to get a table at Sarah Brewer's event at the Vasquez Rocks on April 26th, where we could have current and former town council members there to talk to the public. I would be there, potentially other election committee members, letting them know about the town council, what we do. I've had a couple of you do that before, so basically I'd like to do this again if at all possible. I feel like that's going to be a really good way to reach out to people and let them know our need for candidates upcoming, our need for election committee volunteers, and to remind them that we have these town council meetings available for them. So I feel like it would be a good opportunity for us to reach out and interact directly with those that we're representing. So I would like to see if anybody would like to volunteer. You don't have to answer right now. I will maybe have an email sent out and everybody can let me know if they'd like to come, maybe take an hour shift or something like that at the booth and start spreading the word.
And which day was this? Was it the 26th coming up?
Of April? April 25th at the Rocks.
No, April 25th. April 26th. Okay, I'll send out an email to the council.
I think Lorna's going to send out an email. Lorna?
Or you can, Mary. I'm fine with that. I just would like, because I know not everybody's here, so I just like to, if you feel like that's something that the council should do, then I'd love to reach out to everyone in the council and ask them if they'd like to participate.
Yes, I think the invitation.
Sure.
Would be good.
And can you send me, because when I check the chat, anything that's an attachment doesn't come through on the chat when I print it out.
Got it.
If you can send me your recruitment electronically to my email, and then I can I can put that on our Facebook, our Whittlesey Town Council page, and also on social media.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. I will do that.
Great. Wonderful. All right.
Yeah.
So that's your election committee report also. Is that correct?
Well, there's not really anything to report as of yet. We just begun our official recruitment period for town council, election committee members, but that usually kind of rolls into you're also seeing if people might be interested as candidates also, even though the period isn't open yet. It's a great time to plant that seed in people, letting them know that if maybe there's somebody they might reach out to that might be a good person to help support their community. So I feel like the most of, social media is great and all that stuff, but the face-to-face stuff with the people in the community seems to really have the longer lasting and further reaching in terms of getting people to help with both the election committee and the town council itself.
Okay.
So
basically it's going to be a community outreach, not only for possible future candidates for the town council, but also for people that may want to be on the election committee.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
Good. Okay, great. All right, next up we have the report from Catherine Segura regarding the films in Oswald Olsen.
There were 5 shoots down here this past month.
Right.
And may I just say something about filming?
Sure.
That has to do with Vasquez Rocks?
Yeah.
What she was talking about when they come in with a group, that's a guerrilla filming, and that's completely illegal.
Right.
But you have to put the two apart. They have to be separate.
Okay. Yeah, and you've got the one is for, it's for personal consumption basically, versus one that's for profit.
Exactly.
So the two different, and that's going to be,
and they love to do guerrilla shoots.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the big area.
Oh, believe me, they'll shut that down in a second.
But that should be shut down, but not a mom and her daughter in a prom dress. Wow.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we're going to go on to Parks and Trails.
Okay, so we're going to continue this discussion.
Oh, good.
Because is Sarah still on here? I'm hoping. And Isabel? Nope, they have left.
They left?
Okay, well.
Think about it. Okay.
I had the meeting with the equestrians and Sarah and her boss. A complete waste of time because somehow there were 8 or 9 angry volunteers who were here at the meeting, were not part of the meeting, disrupted the meeting, wanted to be a major part of it. It
volunteers for who? The horses or the
the rocks.
Okay.
So
through everything.
It completely threw.
And what you said about the hole, that scared me for horses.
Well,
there's a whole lot of things.
Yeah, and the purpose was to have community engagement.
Yeah.
And Sarah started off with a slideshow. She said she needed 20 minutes. I stopped her at 45. She said she had more to go. It was 131 slides. for a community engagement workshop sort of thing. So
That's where I see your family vacation photos.
yeah. and it was not anything that was really related to what we were talking about. And what started all of this was the rain policy.
Right.
And I have said from the beginning, we need to have a policy based on data. How much rain, how often, how long is it closed? And I said, finally, when we were able to try to have some type of engagement, I said, we haven't even talked about the rain. I want hard data as opposed to subjection. And that's what we're working with right now. I would like you we've missed a lot of the rainy season so far, but I would like you to